And welcome back to Nancy's Neighborhood. And I told you that we're celebrating Cleveland State Community College today because this year is their 50th anniversary. And we're so proud of them. It's so great to have two colleges, two higher education facilities in the city of Cleveland and Bradley County. Not everybody can say they have that. And so we're just thrilled that we have them. And so the first guest I have is Cindy Dawson. And Cindy is works at Cleveland State. And tell us what you do there, Cindy.
Well, my title
is
Coordinator for Development and Alumni Relations.
Okay.
How's that?
That sounds good. And after 50 years, I'm sure you have quite a few alumni.
We have a lot of alumni. The numbers that I've heard range over 100,000.
Oh, wow.
Because when people say, well, how do you define an alum? And for us, we define alum if you've ever attended a continuing education class. If you have attended maybe 2 years and transferred to a four-year institute, you're an alum. If you've attended a few classes and then maybe gone straight into workforce,
right,
you're an alum. And so all of these different people, if you've been a part of Cleveland State, you're an alum. And we want to celebrate you, we want to connect with you, and enjoy the impact and learn about the impact that you're making on our community and this world.
And I think that's great. And I'd say it's easy to track the alums that have stayed in Cleveland, Bradley County.
It's easier.
Easier. Easier. Okay.
Right.
So, so how do you track these alums?
Well, what's happened through the years at Cleveland State or in any college, we have, a program that tracks all of the students, and it has maybe their email or their address, which might be their home address or their home phone. But then through the years, of course, they've changed their names, they've got new email addresses, new phone numbers.
They got married.
They got married. Those are the hard things that are, that's very difficult to track. So we're working, that was part of my assignment when I first came to Cleveland State. I've been there 6 months, long enough to know what we need to do, but we're working a couple of database management, updating email addresses, trying to update contact information. And one of the simple ways is either on our website or our Facebook page with alumni.
Right.
You can go there and update your contact information. You have to make a few clicks and find the contact form, and we're working to make that even smoother, but so that you can let us know who you are and how we can stay in touch.
Right, and that's awesome. So 6 months ago, they brought you in and said, we have over 100,000 alums, and you need to run them down. I love it. I love it. Isn't that just like bureaucracy?
I've just been knocking on doors.
That's just like bureaucracy to do something like that. But I know that I know several people that are alums of Cleveland State, and some I was surprised about because they do have a degree like from UT or ETSU or even UTC, but they went to Cleveland State first.
That's right.
And so that does qualify them as an alum.
Right. And in our eyes. And
right.
we recognize many students, if they go on to a four-year institute, University of Tennessee, Knoxville, they may say, this is my alma mater. And we understand that.
Right.
But we also hope that maybe as we begin to reconnect with them, they'll help us tell their story and share the story of the impact Cleveland State made on their life. Because it opened the door, it laid the foundation, so they could go on to their next institute. And we want to celebrate that and know about that.
Right, and I think 50 years, I would have been close to being a freshman in college. So I think a lot of people my age probably started out in your first classes at Cleveland State, which I don't know whether you're familiar with it, but actually weren't on now what is the campus, because we didn't have a campus.
That's right.
So it was, I think some of the classes or maybe some of the offices were in Doug Blackwell's law office now, and some places
and also
like
at North Cleveland Baptist Church.
That's right,
North
Cleveland Baptist Church.
So classes were there.
So some of you alums out there may think, well, I didn't really go to Cleveland State. Well, you did, but you just weren't on the campus.
That's right.
I think this is fascinating. So the alums can be from any aspect, and I know that a lot of the things that you all do at Cleveland State, which I think are so wonderful, are the technical classes that you have there, that people can come and actually get a certificate to be a welder or to be a whatever. So those people are alums also.
They certainly are. They certainly are. And that's one of the ways, back to your question, how I'm trying to connect. We can throw out this big, invitation, go to our website and update your contact. And that's happening some. But I've been busy connecting to program directors on the campus like the nursing program, the music director.
Yeah.
Because these professors and these staff members, they've remained connected to many of the alumni that's specifically with their program. And so what we want to do is our alumni association that we are reigniting and building.
Oh, good.
We want to facilitate that connection that's already happening. For example, the next choir concert will be May 4th. And
Oh,
so
good.
I've talked to Karen Dale, and I said, well, how can I help you? Because she's in contact with her alumni. She's wanting to invite a bunch of them back. So the Alumni Association, we're going to host or sponsor just a reception after the concert. And that just gives her an extra something to invite people to come to the concert, stay after, you know, and of course I'll have an alumni table, fill out, update your contact information, but just allow us to re-engage and connect and know each other. That's an exciting thing. We're going to try to do the same thing with the nursing program and just finding these affinity groups.
Right.
And again, finding out how we can look at them and invite them to special events and find out how we can promote their programs.
And that sounds super. I know the nursing program at Cleveland State has been just top notch for a long, long time. And I know anytime I have friends or relatives that have been in Tenova, I always ask the nurse, where did you graduate? And, you know, about 85% of them over at Tenova graduated from Cleveland State, which I think is wonderful to speak so highly of Cleveland State.
Sure.
So you've got a really strong group there
Right.
with your alums.
My sis is an alumni of the nursing program, and she still says, best program, you know, best. She's just so proud of that degree from Cleveland State.
Fantastic.
Nursing program.
And then Karen Dale does a super job with the music
Yes,
over there.
she
So
does.
I can imagine what fun that will be when they have their concert. And I need
so.
to be sure and tell people about that as
Sure.
it's coming up. Did you say May 1st?
May 4th.
May 4th.
And that's also something else we're trying to work on. As I am updating email information, I'm going to be starting an e-news,
Oh, fantastic.
e-newsletter. You know, that's an inexpensive way that we can reach out
Right.
to through the email and just keep our alumni informed. I'm going to make it short and sweet and hopefully provide information that I think that the alumni would be most interested in, and part of that will be upcoming events.
Right. And I can see
you know,
that they
the
would be.
concert, opening the time capsule. 8 to
Yeah, I'd
10.
forgotten about
These
that.
kind of things that I think alumni would really, you know, you'd hate for it to pass, and they go, oh, I wish I'd known.
Absolutely,
So,
absolutely.
working
When
toward that.
I'm not an alum, but I'd love to get that newsletter because that way I can promote things on the
Sure.
show and let
Yeah.
people know about it. Because there's a lot of things that go on at Cleveland State, and the general public may not be aware of it.
Right.
So I think it's great for them to have knowledge of what's going on at Cleveland State. Now, if someone, like you said, they could register. So there's a website. Can they go to the Cleveland State
You can
website?
go to our Cleveland State website, which is clevelandstatecc.edu/alumni.
Oh, okay.
And that will take you to the page, and then there's a update your contact form right there, and it will be submitted, and I'll be informed, and I'll update it and add you to the email list, and it'll be great to be reconnected.
Fantastic. And not everyone that's watching this show is a Cleveland State alum, but you may have a friend or a relative that is. So tell them to go to that website and update, because this is the 50th anniversary, folks, and that's major for something to last 50 years. And so we need the alum there to be sure that they're aware
That's
of what's
right.
going on.
And celebrating 50 years, like you said, we're celebrating 50 years of alumni.
Right.
And we want to hear these stories, and we want to engage, connect, and celebrate. That's
I
kind
love
of my
that.
motto. And
Engage,
connect,
and celebrate. I love that.
Yeah.
Engage, connect, and celebrate.
And upcoming events that I will keep the community informed about. Like in November, we're going to have our annual Alumni and Friends event. This is a free party, and we're
Wow.
going to be advertising that soon and giving you the details. It'll be early November, but a chance for all of our alumni to come back. And we're going to try to have a push this year to really get some of our retired professors or the present professors,
neat.
because we recognize that students, they may say, yes, I'm a Cleveland State alum, but many of them are more apt to say, I'm a member of the nursing program, or I'm an alum of
Right.
the forestry program.
Right.
And they want to connect with the professors and the classmates. So I want to try to facilitate that as well.
And you have had some great professors that I've worked with. I'm thinking Spencer Culbreth, and Spencer's
Right.
written a book about the history of Cleveland State. And I don't know exactly when it's going to be published, but I had him on to talk about it. And I think it's going to be fascinating, because I'm not really sure whether Spencer was there from the very beginning or not, but he was there early on. And I know Spencer and I have talked because he used to help with Cleveland State used to have a huge tennis tournament. We had it at Tinsley and used the courts at Cleveland State, the courts at Tinsley, and I'm talking 300, 400 entries in the tennis tournament. And so Cleveland State's been very, very active in our community for a long, long time. So I think it'd be great. And then I had Ken Phillips on, and I think he's on staff now at Cleveland State. I'm not really sure what he does, but he's written a book. So a lot of exciting things are happening at Cleveland State. And we've talked before, Cleveland State's almost landlocked, but still
there's a lot of things coming up.
I know.
We've got plans to build and renovate and expand and grow, and that's part of the news we want to be able to share with our alumni. What's coming up and how they can be a part of the next 50 years.
Oh, I think that's awesome. So tell them the website one more time.
It's clevelandstatecc.edu/alumni. But you can also follow us on Facebook. We have our own Facebook page, which is CSCC Alumni.
Okay, and then your office number, if they want to call you and say, Cindy, this is Fred, and I graduated, and I want to tell you about myself.
It's 423-614-8703.
Okay, say that one more time.
I'm so proud I remembered that.
I'm so proud you did too, because I had my minister on here. He'd been in town about 2 weeks, and I said, Randy, tell them the phone number at the church where they can reach you. He had no idea what it was.
It's 423-614-8703.
Cindy, thank you so much for being on with us today.
I'm a Cleveland State alumni myself.
Oh, great.
I forgot to mention it.
In the area of?
Well, I started out in music. And so then I kind of transferred out. But,
I understand.
Yeah. So,
I understand.
But I'm proud, and I'm proud to be back in my hometown and getting to know my roots again, and look forward to connecting with our Cleveland State alumni.
Super. Cindy, thank you so much for being with me.
Thank
now,
you,
folks,
Nancy.
don't go away, because Tracy Wright's going to be on, and she's going to talk to us a little bit more about Cleveland State, because I've told you we're celebrating Cleveland State Community College today because they're in their 50th anniversary. So watch our commercials, support our sponsors, and stay with us. We'll be right back.